Hi, my name is Kirsten Abbott, and today I'm going to talk to you about why it is important to not let children play with cell phones. I'm a 911 dispatcher for Montgomery County 911. We take hundreds of cell phone calls a day. A lot of them come from children playing prank calls or children playing with phones that have been disconnected and phones that can only call into 911. How many of you have ever handed a child your cell phone to occupy them for 5 minutes so that you can get something done or just have a little bit of peace and quiet? A lot of parents and grandparents do this so that they can have a little break and give something to occupy the child with. This causes a lot of problems for 911 and also police officers when we can get coordinates on the residents to send a welfare check to. Whether or not a cell phone has service, it can still call into 911. A lot of people do not know this. Even if the service has been disconnected, it can still call in, but we cannot call it back. The only way to stop this is to take the battery out of the phone. They do make cell phones for children at Toys R Us, Walmart. They have little toy phones that kids can play with, and they're going to think that it's a real cell phone. According to Montgomery County's website, 75% of calls come from cell phones. If we cannot get a location on your phone, then we cannot send a welfare check. I personally have had several children call in saying that something was wrong medically or like their house is on fire or anything like that, and we cannot call them back if it's coming from a 911 only phone. We also cannot call the phone company to get a location on the phone if it's coming from a 911 only phone. Another issue we have is prank calls coming from children. Children learn at preschool age about 911 and how to call it for emergencies. Parents need to really reinforce this to the children to let them know that it is not for prank calling, it is for emergencies only. We get several calls from children saying, my house is on fire, my mom's sick, something like that, and we don't know if they're telling the truth or not. And if we can't get the location of the phone to send a welfare check to the house, that's one of the worst feelings that a dispatcher can have, is to think that there's something wrong with a child or their family member and not be able to get help to them. It is very important for children to know that you only use the phone to call 911 if it's a real emergency. Sometimes kids will call in 10 to 15 times back to back, prank calling us, and they'll hang up before we can ever get coordinates to map the phone. 99% of these calls are not real emergencies. Most of them are fake calls, but we can't determine whether it's fake or real. This also causes us to send out ambulances, fire trucks, police officers. If they do say my house is on fire and we can get a location, then we're going to send everyone out there. And then if it's not a real emergency, then if somebody else's house really is on fire, is going to have to wait for responders to get there because we had a child call in saying that it was an emergency when it wasn't. So please don't give children your old phones and let them play with them, and do not give them your cell phone just to occupy their time. Go out and spend the $2 or $3, buy them a fake cell phone so that they can play with them. Or just take the battery out. Like I said earlier, take the battery out so that it cannot call into 911. This is very, very important. Thank you very much.